Joseph Doio Jr. Just as a side comment, I know you didn't schedule the meeting, but please tell whoever did the scheduling, that by holding it in a police station, you are contributing to making America a police state. The sign keeps us reminded of the big picture, but for the strap plant, I think there's plenty of flaws with that. And so just the questions is, what is the specific surface area of the white strap zone?
It's approximately 4.9 acres.
And I know you had the detectors that kind of were displayed out there. You don't have to get into specifics chemistry, but are they taking in from the air or taking ground samples? Does someone actually have to use them?
The monitors that we showed out there and that I showed pictures of here.
Correct.
They can be handheld, they can be in fixed locations. We put them in close proximity to the active work, so the entire 4.9 acres won't be under construction at the same time, so we ensure that the monitors are right where the work is taking place.
So would you surround it? And these specific sites that are being dug up, are you going to surround?
We would stay right within the work area that is being excavated or covered or whatever is happening at the time.
And will it be surrounded completely? Well, will detectors surround the work area completely?
There will be a detector adjacent to the work. We always monitor upwind areas, and then we pay close attention to the wind direction to ensure that we know where that's going. So we could have a couple monitors going at the same time. It just depends on what's going on at the time and how large of an area we're covering.
And do you have the ratio already, or is that something you're going to figure out on the site of what your rules are for if the dig site is this big, this much square meters, how many detectors you need surrounding that area to sense everything?
We do not have a specific ratio that we described.
Okay. And what is the process for stopping the activity if a sensor goes off? And I guess the question before that is, do the sensors, are they networked together, or does someone have to check them individually?
They are checked individually.
Okay. And so what would the process, someone is now checking them, what happens after that? And it's bleeping red.
Well, if they have a reading that is approaching what we would consider the point at which we want to change our engineering controls, we will either, if it's dust, we'll do additional dust controls. If it's volatile compounds, we could start to use, if we're going to cover stockpiles or cover the excavations, we may use odor suppressing foams. There's different methods that we can follow.
And you count for the fact that a lot of these readers, the time of day affects the reading, the temperature affects the reading, and New England being as different weathers that we have, the levels are going to be changing as things are being dug up, the sun is shining, snow is blowing.
That's all taken into account.
Okay. And have you studied the wind patterns? I was kind of expecting more environmental awareness in the slideshow, maybe telling us how many times this area gets flooded in a year or in the decades, and what are the wind patterns, how many times the wind changes in the day over each of these dig sites?
I mean, if you have specific questions about that, we can take that question in writing and we can describe in better detail how we would look at the wind patterns, what equipment we would use.
Yeah, I think in the second meeting that the community definitely deserves, I think all that information could be better stated. How the detectors are going to work on a layperson level,
That is
and that
actually
ratio.
It is described in the short-term response to action plan now.
Okay, yeah, I think in the next meeting it'll be told to everyone as well. Thank you.